Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CoolSam23, and I am the lead developer for Into the Stars 3. And as you can see below me, there have been some changes since I posted the screenshots. So let's just jump on down the mountain, and I can show you a little bit closer. It is awfully satisfying jumping down this mountain. I've done it like so many times. Anyway, there have been a few more buildings, a few more additions. As you can see, there are only, 7 buildings left to be completed? And then I can start moving on to the cliff faces on the mountain itself, which is going to be the second level in this area. That's right, the city is only 1 level on this island. Like, no joke. It's not too crazy long of a level. It starts over here, and then it just kind of just like squiggles its way across here. The red lines that you saw in the screenshot and that you're seeing here is the route I want the player to take, give or take. This is just kind of like a prototype. It won't actually be like this crazy, but this is just kind of like the general direction I want the player to go. To eventually, I don't have Optifine because I'm using World Edit, to eventually end up over there, which is where the second level begins, which will take them climbing up the mountain. You can't see it from here, but it will lead them up to Trident's Peak, which is a very significant landmark in this map. That structure right there, let me just fly up a little bit so you got a better view. This structure right here, Triton's Peak, I showed this off when I originally hosted a vote for which map would make would be next in line. I showed this structure off. No one voted, so I went with Into the Stars 3, and I'm so excited that I did, because the map is going to be amazing. But anyway, Trident's Peak, this is a very, very important landmark. That's why it is bookmarked with a checkpoint block. All of these little I guess glass boxes here, these are going to be representing the nether stars that you collect throughout your adventure. And if you count them up, you end up with 23. Because why not? Because 23 is a special number to me, and I like to put it absolutely everywhere. So this is Trident's Peak. This is a very important monument because up there, that is a launch pad. Believe it or not, if you've played Into the Stars 2, you know what a launch pad is. You can stand in here, and from here, you will riptide up into the final level of the map, the Aurora Arena. So this is a very important place, and you can only do that after you've collected all 23 nether stars, and you're gonna have to go to various different islands. I can't showcase any of the other islands, because again, well, the other islands don't even exist as of this point in time. I haven't begun construction on them. I've been spending the past 2 weeks working on the city and just kind of brainstorming what I want to do with this island. Which, if it looks bland and boring right now, I want to add a forest all around this outer edge, and then cliff faces up on the dome, add snow everywhere, and there's a lot of work to do on this island before I'm ready to call this project done and I'm ready to move on to another island. So, this is Gateway Island. This is the first island you encounter, and you enter it from this massive pathway over here. Again, this is unfinished, but this is just proof of concept. There'll be another island out there that you start on, but for now, one island at a time, please. I've been working a lot on this city, and it's taken me longer than I expected, but honestly, that's part of the joys of making these maps. So, that's this island in a nutshell. It's just a giant ruined city, and then climbing up the mountainside to reach Triton's Peak. But what about some of the other islands? Again, they don't exist, so, and I wish I could zoom in, but I can't. They don't exist, so unfortunately, I can't showcase anything other than what I have here. But I can show you the World Hub. Now this is very much unfinished. This was just kind of like a prototype sky gradient that I wanted to do, and there's something up there. But this is going to be the World Hub, eventually. And as you can see, there are 8 different stops, 8 different islands. This one will be hidden at first, so you're kind of getting a sneak peek for one of the late game islands. Not items. What am I saying? Late game island. I almost said it again. Late game islands. Thank you. And this is Gateway Island, the island that we were just at. So the idea is you end up in here after reaching Triton's Peak. You'll end up here. You'll click the note block, and you'll teleport to, well, in this case, you'll teleport to Gateway Island. The rest of these are just trap chests, but I've been experimenting with different like activation methods, so things like note blocks. Buttons are a little bit small, so I wanted to go with a full block activation, and I came up with the idea of a note block, and I think I'm going to be sold on the note block because I can observe or detect when the note block is hit. So I think that's what I'm going with. The color for Gateway Island is brown, and I'll get into that later. We got Light Blue Island, that's Frost Flake. We got Winter Wonder Island. It's Oshiro's Island. I believe this is, yeah, Ice Spikes Forest. That one's going to be a lot of fun to design. This is Glorious Glacier, another one that's going to be fun to design. And this one will be Freeze Flame Fortress. And if you know my history with Shiverburn, you know this level is going to be an absolute treat. You know exactly what that level is going to be like. And then up above, again, this is all prototype. I haven't finalized any of this. I kind of have a prototype block palette laid out for what space is going to be like. That's right, in this map, you reach space. Unlike Into the Stars 2, where you get captured and drawn down to the Riptide Well. You are going to be reaching space in this map. That is your goal. Well, assuming you don't die in the process or game over. I'm debating on if it should be possible to game over. It probably will be. So you're going to want to be careful. But this is just kind of like a concept for what I think the final level will be like. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek. Anyway, so that's basically how the map is going to work. You start off on Gateway Island, and you go around in a circle, collecting 23 nether stars. You end up back at Gateway Island. You use this launch pad, and although my Trident isn't powerful enough, you'd launch up. This probably won't be here for the final World Hub, but you'll launch up, and you'll end up in space for the final chapter. So the route I have planned for the city starts here, roughly, well, there's the checkpoint block you start at. And basically, you climb up the scaffolding, you follow the brown carpet. This is kind of, in Into the Stars 2, I had torches lying around that kind of just point the path. In this map, I'm going to be using colored carpet, based on, like, obviously the color of the map, the color of the level. So there's something here, there's something missing here. I haven't put it in yet. I don't have the functionalities for the anti-gravity blocks. Yeah, at this point in time yet. And if you didn't play through to the end of Into the Stars 2, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I would suggest you do that. You'll notice that the Trident is significantly less powerful in this map. I'm only using Riptide 1. And there's a reason I'm doing that. I'm only using Riptide 1 so that way I can fit the Trident in a little bit more. I want to use the Trident more often than just your basic parkour. Even though your basic parkour is fine and all, I do want to use the Trident a little bit more. So you navigate across various different buildings, you follow the path. Target blocks will be making their return. So there will be guides so you can know where to launch. And this is currently the layout of the level as it's currently built. And those two buildings over there are not included in the level. And yes, I am aware that this level is going to be very, very much cheesable. Where's that launch pad? Over here I showcase you can launch up to there, or you can launch straight up, end up on a roof. And then I forget where you can go, but I know you can, yes, you can enter that building, which you originally shouldn't be able to enter. So this level is going to be very much cheesable. I'm kind of encouraging the players to explore with this map. I want to create these areas for the player to explore. Like all these buildings, most of them are accessible. Some of them have collapsed staircases, but you can still access all the lower floors. And the reason the city is in ruins has to do with the lore of this map, and I'm not going to bring it up here because the map does acknowledge it. I've written out the script, probably just half of the script actually, for this massive map. And there's going to be a very interactive story. Unlike the previous map, in Insta Stars 2, you were just kind of like slapped into the map with like cutscenes here or there. This is going to be a very interactive map, and I'm actually acquiring voice actors to voice the different characters. Starla has been casted, Gravity has been casted, Anti-Gravity has been casted, and there's going to be some other additional characters as well. There's going to be a turtle and maybe a guardian, I don't know. I'm still working on that. But yeah, this map is going to be more of a kind of a role play even, as you're playing as Starla, and there's going to be an overarching story to this map, and I think it's going to end up being a lot of fun. I believe it's definitely going to be a lot more work than Into the Stars 2 ever was, but that's okay because I like pushing myself for no reason. Get the old creative juices flowing and come up with some unique ideas. I don't know why my keyboard is acting up. This is sad. You're making me look bad in front of the viewers. Anyway, in regards to gameplay, checkpoints are going to be different in this map. Aside from the Cosmic Trident obviously being nerfed, checkpoints are going to be different. There's still going to be the gold blocks, but there's going to be two different types of checkpoints. And I was toying around with this idea with Shiverburn. But there's going to be a checkpoint, and then there are going to be spawn points. So, checkpoints would be this. This would be a checkpoint. This would just be, if there's no special checkpoint block, this is a spawn point. You have to step on this. But checkpoints will have a skulk sensor underneath them, so they are a ranged spawn point, basically. And from the world hub I showed you earlier, pressing those note blocks or opening the chest or whatever I decide to use will not directly teleport you to the island. It will teleport you to a sub room, and then from there you can pick which of the checkpoints you want to go to. So like you can teleport to there, or you can teleport to the one I have way over there. Or you could teleport straight up to Triton's Peak. As long as you have passed by and have triggered the skulk sensor underneath, it's not currently there, so don't worry, that you will be able to teleport to this location from the world map. And I'm planning on having a item, maybe a compass or something, that when dropped will teleport you to World Hub, theoretically. And I'm also going to have another item, probably, I don't know, probably a skull, I don't know, that when you drop it, it kills the player and sends them back to the last spawn point, or checkpoint, depending on which one they grabbed last. So if, in like the event that you fall off the main path and it'd be like too much of a hassle, or if you get soft locked, if there's like an area, a hole you fall down, you can't get out, you can drop that item and it'll kill the player and take them back to the previous spawn point. So yeah, just little things like that. Spyglass will be returning, so you can use the Spyglass if you don't have Optifine, like I do at the moment. I don't have Optifine. I'm clicking my trigger button and I'm not zooming in at all. So I have to use the Spyglass. So the Spyglass will be returning. The Trident will be nerfed a little bit, which means I've got to redo all this because this is currently wired up for Riptide 3 as opposed to Riptide 1. It will be possible to obtain a Riptide 3 Trident, but not until late game. I'm talking when you get up to there for the last time. And there's also going to be some interesting items too. I've been toying around with this. Let's just use this for the time being. I'm toying around with the idea of there being two distinct types of launch pads. There's going to be your regular Trident launching pad, allows you to riptide. And this isn't wired up, and this is just proof concept. But there's also going to be an additional launch pad type. One that will allow you to stand on it and throw your Trident. It will have loyalty on it, this is just proof concept. And I'm not currently sold on that specific color, but the two are going to be distinctly different. The two are going to be distinctly different. One will be for launching yourself, and one will be for throwing your Trident. You'll be using these to hit buttons or attack mobs from a distance, maybe even a boss or two, I don't know. That's right, this map will be featuring a handful of bosses. I currently have 5 planned for this map. So the gas fight from Into the Stars 2, the gas fight was a little bit boring and it didn't really test the player's parkour skills. The gravity fight was okay, but I don't think it'll be returning in this map. I have been toying around with different boss designs and ideas, and I've come up with several good bosses that will not only fit the story of this map, will also fit the overall mechanics of this map. So you can expect a couple of boss fights. And if you read through the level descriptions, or the level names for each of the islands, you might be able to guess a couple of them. There may or may not be an evoker in there somewhere. May or may not be riding a Ravager. I haven't decided yet, so you have that to look forward to. And other than that, I don't really have anything else to share with you as of this time, because again, there's not much to show. I am looking for feedback on this map, but again, the city isn't done. I still have to do the roads, all the rubble in the streets from the various different buildings. A couple of buildings aren't even finished. And then there's a lot of work to do on just this one island, and this is just one of 8 islands. I'm not expecting the other islands to be as big or as tall, especially as tall, because this monument here is built on the tallest point in the archipelago. So no island will be taller than this, but the rest of the islands may be this size. But not all the islands are going to be perfectly circular like this. No, sir. This is just because I wanted a nice circular mountain and a good starting point. So I'll be keeping you guys updated with new screenshots, hopefully every Friday, as I work throughout the week and I get more buildings done. I'm hoping to get screenshots posted every Friday, maybe a video here or there, like showcasing some of the parkour elements of the map, but nothing too crazy. I'm putting a lot of effort into gameplay as well as the build designs. And I have, some of you have seen the wooden axe in my hand. I have World Edit now, which is something I didn't have for any of the previous maps I've worked on. So I'll be able to focus more on the gameplay of the map and less on the details, because World Edit will be able to assist in making the detailing a lot faster. And the city is a proof of concept. All of these like holes and randomizations of the block, those are all using World Edit. And I do go in here and fine tune them a little bit. Like some buildings aren't as banged up as others, and some of them have scaffolding, but anyway. World Edit has been already a huge help. Like the entire shape of this island, all World Edit. Granted, it took me a while, and I lost the world folder a few times. I had to replace it, which is why flying out here, you can see that the water is a different color. It's a long story. A story for another day. But yeah, this project is well underway, and I hope to keep you guys updated on the progression of this map. This will probably be the last progress update for a while. I probably won't do another video until I have a decent project onto the next island. And then, of course, I'll share with you guys some information in regards to the demo release of this map. That's right, I'm doing a demo. Just like I did for Into the Stars 2. So, you guys have something to look forward to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I know I said that earlier, but I mean it this time. Go check out Into the Stars 2. If you haven't played through to the end, I would highly recommend it, because this map picks up right where that map left off. And I know it's a bit of a grind clearing all the levels and stuff, but overall, it'll be worth the understanding of what happens in the Riptide Well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Check out the Captured series while you're at it. As of this week, I just started my walkthrough of Celeste, one of the main inspirations for this map. So if you kind of want to see a little bit of the inspiration behind Into the Stars 3, as well as Into the Stars 2, and just Into the Stars in general, go check out the walkthrough on Celeste. I'll leave it in, well, it's on screen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.